Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another football discussions video. Today we are going to be doing another tier maker, this time NFL running backs. So let's get into it. Before actually we start, I just wanted to go over my rating system. So we have S ranking or S tier, which is elite, A, which is very good, B, which is good, C is like an average, decent running back, D is a pretty bad running back, and then F is he should be cut type area. And I want to make one thing clear that these players I'm doing for their current stature in the NFL, not what they've done in the past. For example, a guy like Adrian Peterson, a few years ago, he would have been an S tier, but he's obviously not at that level anymore in his career. So don't get offended when I put veteran guys, lower than what they once were. So getting right into it, we have Kerryon Johnson, running back from Auburn, now playing on the Detroit Lions. I like Kerryon. He had a good rookie year. He was one of my favorite running backs in that 2018 draft class. So I'm gonna stick Kerryon in B tier. I think that's a good spot for him. Saquon Barkley. I know it's only been 1 year that we've seen of Saquon, but I'm putting Saquon in S. I think he's a top 3 running back in the NFL. Just his explosiveness is something that we rarely see with running backs in the NFL anymore, and he's just so versatile and so good at that position. It's so much fun to watch, and he deserves all the credit for being a S tier guy. Shady McCoy, uh, like I said before, Shady a few years ago would have been A or S, but I'm gonna D or C. I think I'm gonna stick him in D just because of the fact that I think this is his last year as a starter in the NFL. I don't see a lot of potential for him in the future, so Shady's going to be a D at the moment. Lamar Miller, I'll stick Lamar in D too. I know that's going to make some people angry, but he hasn't shown me much ever in his NFL. I mean, he was decent on the Dolphins, but as a Texan, he's been just bad. So I'm going to put him as a D tier running back because he doesn't have the same ability as these other guys in the league. CMC, Christian McCaffrey, he's such a good best receiving back I've ever seen. I'm gonna stick him in A. I might move that around later, but for right now, I'll stick him in A. Melvin Gordon, definitely an A tier guy. Very good, very fun to watch. Explosive, just great player. Who is this? Is this Telvin? Did they Photoshop Telvin in? Or is this Breida? Regardless, it's 26 or 28. I think it's 28. Regardless, I'm gonna put if it's Telvin or Matthew Breida. I think both of those guys are B tier players. I'm liking the 49ers backfield this year with Telvin Coleman, Matthew Breida. I think that's a good duo that they have in San Francisco going. Next up, AP or AD, however you want to say it. After that Redskins, I'm gonna stick him in C because he had a really good year last year. I almost want to put him in B, but I think he's a definition of a C tier running back, especially going into this year. I'll put him at C. David Johnson, B tier. Granted, he got hurt after was it 2017 that he popped off? Didn't have. Maybe it was 2016. 2016 he popped off. 2017 got off to a good start, then got hurt, and then last year he came back and really didn't show me much. So, as much as I want to put him in A, I can't put him in a category with Christian McCaffrey and Melvin Gordon at the moment. A guy that I can do that with, though, I think I'm going to put Philip Lindsay in A from what we saw. I mean, he had the most yards per carry out of any running back in the NFL last year. Just an explosive player, undrafted free agent that Denver picked up. So I think that he definitely, if he has a sophomore slump, could fall into the B tier category. But if he keeps up what he did last year, I'm confident with that A tier placement of him. Jordan Howard, C or B? Howard had a ton of, or his first few seasons as NFL running back, he had 1,000 yards. And last year, with the production level of Tariq Cohen significantly increasing in Chicago, his production went down. So I don't think he's as good as a guy like David Johnson. I'm gonna put David Johnson at the top of B here. I'll put Jordan Howard in C. Zeke, I think Zeke has to be an S tier guy. Zeke is just so explosive, so good at finding that hole. Granted, he does have the best offensive line in the NFL, but I mean, he's just an outstanding. I think he's right up there with Saquon. Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones had a good year last year, really good year. I don't know if I can put him in the A tier though. He's right on the borderline. I'm gonna put him in B. I'll put Aaron Jones in B tier. I mean, he's just a good football player. Another guy that I'm going to stick in B is Leonard Fournette. People might get angry about that, but his yards per carry are low. I mean, he's really just a red zone machine if you think about it, but he doesn't have like the explosiveness that Melvin or Phillip or CMC have. So I think it's only fair to put him in B with David Johnson. I think this is Ronald Jones, not Peyton Barber's 25, right? Yeah, Ronald Jones from Tampa Bay, another C tier guy. Not the best. Not bad either, but I think I'm going to put him in C tier. Todd Gurley. Well, let me move it up. All right, Todd Gurley is definitely an S tier guy. Phenomenal player. Although with his knees, he has a few knee problems for those of you who don't know. So that's going to reduce his production value this year. But the Rams did draft one of my favorite running backs from college football this year, Darrell Henderson from Memphis. So that shouldn't be hard to find Ty Gurley some rest with a guy like that backing him up. So, but for right now, Ty Gurley is definitely an S tier player. Mark Ingram, he's a beast. I love that 1-2, or loved, I should say, that 1-2 combo in New Orleans. Ingram's now on the Ravens. I'll stick with, I think Ingram's also B tier. Chubb, another B tier guy. Great rookie season. Phenomenal rookie season, actually. Got a 92-yard touchdown. But they brought in Kareem Hunt, which kind of shocked me. I thought that was kind of a disrespectful to Chubb after what a great rookie year he had. But I guess he's going to be splitting carries halfway through the season with Kareem when he comes back. So for right now, I'm going to put Chubb in B, but he definitely has the chance to move up to A. Damian Williams, right? I'll stick him in D. He's not the best. Le'Veon Bell, S tier. People may say he didn't play last year, but I mean, just the tape of him playing football from every single season that he's played. He's one of the most productive running backs in the NFL. Not to mention, he's a great receiving back too. He's like Christian McCaffrey. Like Christian McCaffrey is such a good receiving back, but I can't put Christian in A due to his. I don't want to say lack of running ability because he definitely has it, but he's not nearly as good as any of these top four guys when it comes to running the football. And Le'Veon Bell's to do it all back. So I think he'll fit in nicely in New York too. I'm excited to see how that pans out. Marshawn Lynch, F. Replacement level, shouldn't be starting. He's going to retire. Is he already retired? I don't even know. But yeah, not the best running back in the NFL anymore, nor he ever was. But definitely at one point he was an A or S tier guy. James Conner, another B. This B tier is really filling up. I just can't find a way to put any of these guys lower than B or higher than B. So I'll stick James Conner in B. I think that fits him perfectly. Definitely can move up to A along with a guy like Nick Chubb. Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's A tier. Running back from Oklahoma. Had an outstanding season last year. Took him a little bit in the NFL, but last year his production went way up. Just played really good football. So I think he'll have a great year this year, and maybe even move up to S tier. I'm a big fan of Chris Carson's. It's just another. Is he better than David? You know what I'm going to do? I'll put Chris Carson here at the top of B, and I'm going to actually stick David Johnson at the end of A, because David Johnson is a really good running back, and we'll see if he can increase production with a better supporting cast this year in Arizona. He did not have the best team last year, so I'll stick David Johnson at the bottom of A and stick Carson at the top of B. So I think that's perfect. Devontae Freeman, another guy who's going to go in B tier, had a slump last year, but I think he'll come back this year. If you saw my quarterback tier list, same situation with Matt Ryan, had a slump, but definitely can definitely come back and show the NFL what he's all about again. I'll actually stick Devontae at the top of B. Kenyon Drake, C or D. I'm gonna be mean to Kenyon, stick him in D. The Dolphins definitely need a new running back. Damian Williams wasn't the answer. Neither was Kenyon Drake. So they need to figure out what they're doing over there in Miami at that position. Who are you? Marlon Mack. I think I'm going to stick him at... No, I'm also going to move you down to C. I think if I'm going to put Marlon Mack in C, yeah, that makes sense. All right, so Marlon Mack's C-tier player, definitely has the potential to move up, and I know a lot of people saw flashes of greatness with him last year, but he didn't have the consistency that guys like Chris Carson had, or Mark Ingram had, or Nick Chubb or James Conner had. So that's why I can't put him in the B tier just yet, but maybe soon. Sony Michel, the other B tier guy, right along with his fellow rookies James Conner and Nick Chubb last year. Really good player, fun to watch. These guys actually went to Georgia together, played on the same football team. Those of you who remember that Rose Bowl, 2017, Georgia, Oklahoma, both those guys went off. Fun to watch. Next up, we have Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook is an interesting case because he had such a good rookie year, so much fun to watch, and then that injury, man, just messed him up. And it's so sad to see guys like that who just start off so well get hurt. But I think that when it comes down to it, Cook is, for right now, a B-tier player. Definitely another guy like Carson, Connor, White, or not White, sorry, Sony Michel, or Nick Chubb that can move up to A and even S throughout their careers. But for right now, I'm gonna stick him in B. I'm gonna put Kamara over in A because he's the ultimate package. S. He's better. I think he's a little better than Christian McCaffrey, which bumps him up to that S tier. But he's just such a good football player. Just phenomenal speed, phenomenal elusiveness. Just a great overall player. I'm gonna put him in S. Let's move along here. Derrick Henry, A tier. Maybe some people don't agree, but he's just so good at what he does. And the Titans finally utilized him how he's supposed to be utilized towards the end of last year. And if they continue to do that, then he's going to continue to have great success in the NFL. So I think that he's borderline B right now, but from what I saw from him last year, he showed us all that he's an A-tier player and definitely can move up. Tariq Cohen, I'm also going to stick an A. Just another, he's right along the lines of a Christian McCaffrey type guy. Just such a good receiving back, so quick out of the backfield, and such a mismatch for linebackers that tend to guard him. He was on my fantasy team last year and definitely boosted me up in a PPR league with all the receptions that he gets. And I think that without Jordan Howard there in Chicago anymore, the running production is going to shift towards him, so we can see how he does with that. But yeah, I think Cohen's definitely an A-tier player. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today's tier list. I'm sure a lot of you disagree with me on this one. Wouldn't be surprised. Maybe made some controversial picks, like maybe Philip Lindsay being an A tier. Most of you probably won't agree with that. Again, I'm a Broncos fan, so I might be a little biased. So just let me know what you guys think. That's going to do it for today's episode of Football Discussions. We'll see you guys next time.